Hi, welcome to John's Jeep Garage. First and foremost, this video is about welding a truss on the rear axle of a Jeep Wrangler JK. This Jeep Wrangler JK is a 2016, it's a 4-door, and we are using a TMR Customs truss for the rear axle. It's part number 1293 with TMR Customs. This video will just show you about 60 seconds on how to remove the rear axle. That's what we chose to do. I will have another video on our channel on the details of removing a rear axle if you want to look at that as well. We're going to fast forward, show you a timestamp right now where you can fast forward to when the work begins, when we're actually fitting the truss. But this truss comes in 3 pieces. It fits, it has little notches where it sets in. There's some movability on there, so we're going to clean up the axle and we're going to show you how to fit it. We're going to tack weld it. We're also going to clean up the axle, marking it and grinding it where we're going to have where we're going to weld. I'm a hobbyist. I've been doing this for 30 years and I'm not an official professional welder or garage mechanic. I do a decent job, but I'm not showing you how to weld a professional weld, but I am showing you how to do it in the right way. There is some I guess challenges here. One is the axle is 1/4 inch thick and the truss material is 1/4 inch thick. Both are mild steel, so that's easier to weld. The trick is this, the differential. It's cast steel, and we're going to show you the proper method on how to weld mild steel to cast steel, and going through the steps there, and then we chose to paint it afterwards. So follow along, hopefully this helps, and thank you for watching. Before welding and marking everything up, I am going to degrease and clean this up because at the end of all this, I'm going to paint it. Here, I just put an old tube I had. I'm going to heat this up with the map heat. I don't need map heat for this, of course. Cut this, heat it up, and then squeeze it so I can have a nice seal so I don't get anything in it. Obviously, I'm going to clean out the differential and the tubes when I'm finished, but why add more water if I don't need to? Really, I'm just trying to get that first layer of dirt and grime off. I'm going to end up cleaning it again later before I paint it, but just rinsing it so I can work and start marking it up. While it was under the car, I did do a pre-check just on a general fit, but my whole intent of getting it off was so that I can do a little bit more grinding so it'll be a tighter fit, and then I'll tack weld it. So I want to mark it just so I can get a basic area of where I'm going to be grinding. So I'm grinding the initial paint marks, but then I go back and I mark it again to see if there's anything I missed. And I'm wanting to ensure that I have a clean surface area with enough space because of my MIG welding. You know, preparation is key, so I go back and clean up all of those spots. I'm also cleaning up the edges around the entire truss. After tacking the truss together, I go around and weld about 2 to 3 inch strips in different sections along the truss, and then I'll go back and fill everything in. So this is welded inside, the tabs on top, the edge tabs. So completely welded and ground down on any overhang burrs, and then now I've got to get it prepped and ready for this axle. All right, so I continue to prep, probably overdoing it, on this TMR truss. You can see all the heat bands in here. I've welded the inside, welded the outside, welded right here where the two tabs were coming through. I ground those down so I can just be smooth when I paint, or somewhat smooth. And then I ground down the two tabs or inserts sticking here as well as here. So this thing's pretty solid and from a welding perspective. And again, I'm not a professional welder. You know, that's what my welding looks like, but you can see some splatter. But anyway, this thing is gonna rock, and it's gonna be solid. So what I'm doing now, is just really looking at my weld plan. Again, this is a cast steel, so it's going to be welded last when I preheat this to weld. But I'm just looking if I need to grind down anything to get this to sit a little bit better. But there are some spots that I can go after early. Look, I'm not saying this is the right thing to do, and I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just experimenting with it. Since I'm going to weld this thing, there's no way I'm going to get paint up in there. So I decided to spray paint and try some of this high heat paint. Most likely it's going to burn off because welding gets a much higher temperature when doing it on this. But I obviously am going to grind off the points where I'm going to be welding, so that's clean. But heck, why not try it? I'm doing this just to make sure there wasn't any paint that got on the outside edge where I'm going to be welding. Now to start tack welding, I'm going to do a little bit on each side. I don't want to stay in one area for too long and heat up the axle. I want to distribute the welds all around and give it a chance to cool. So right now I'm just going to show you different spots that I was working around the axle tube. Again, never want to stay too long in one spot and overheat that specific area. Okay, so for some of them I have to do a first pass, kind of a fill, and then come back for another layer and then get it on top of that. But I wanted to get good penetration without obviously affecting the integrity of my axle, and then I can help close that gap as I weld the ends. So again, not a perfect welder, but this was my second pass on top of that. All right, so this is mild steel on this truss. This is cast steel on this differential, where the sleeves are here as well. So I'm gonna work on these two end pieces right here. I'm gonna have to do a little build up right here, and not really much here. But I have to heat this cast steel to about 400 degrees. And right now, it's 126 degrees, 121 degrees. Wait, let me see where I'm aiming. About 120 degrees. So I'm going to use a MAP heat bottle, and I'm going to heat this up to about 400, 425. I want to get it just over 400, and then I'm going to weld it and let it cool down slowly. All right, so this is the MAP gas bottle that I use. I got the tip, it's 8,000 BTU, but in looking at it, you know, you can get these on Amazon, Home Depot, other places, but it just burns a lot hotter than propane. 360. About 426 here, 410, 415, and on the end I'm about 320. So let me get a little bit more here. So I'm losing temperature. No, about 405 here, about 406 there. So let me. I'm where I want to be. Where I want to be. Just want to get ahead of it. So I did a build-up bead here, and I kind of welded there. Then I'm just going to kind of keep the temperature. See where I am as the starting point. So I'm about 435 here, and here I'm about actually 500. Just keep monitoring the temperature, about 407 here, about 427 here. So I want to keep it a little bit more gas on it. The goal is to cool it down slowly, but also keeping both metals around the same temperature as it's dropping. Just bringing the temperature down slowly. Now I do want to put another pass here, because that was just a fill pass. Now that right there is just mild steel on top of my fill pass, and then now I'm just going to monitor the heat in this corner. About 442 there, about 440 here. This is in the 700s right now. I'm in about the 390s here and about the 360s here. So I'm just still letting it cool down, bringing the temperature down together. I'm using the same process all along the cast steel. Just showing you examples where I heat it, get it close to 400 or above, check the temperature, weld it, and then use the MAP gas to bring the temperature down slowly and equally. Well, once everything was welded, I brought it outside to set it up for painting. After it's all welded, the only thing I'm doing now is more cosmetic. I'm taking a small grinder and I'm really just trying to clean up the splatter before I paint it. Now for my paint prep, I'm going to start off with a little brake clean to clean, and then I'm going to use some degreaser, scrub it clean, rinse it, and then get it dry so that I can prep it for paint. Now obviously this is a step nobody has to do, but once I dried it, then I just let it sit in the sun to ensure that it was definitely dry before applying any paint. This is the paint I'm using. I realize there's VHT and other paints out there, but this is a ceramic coating, Rust-Oleum, high heat. Not that I would need that high heat at this time, but it's a basic protection, and though we'll probably need it again sometime, it's what I'm using. All right, well that's a wrap. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. One of the other methods on welding the cast steel part is that people use a fiberglass blanket, and instead of just watching the heat and making sure it's kind of cooling at the same rate, some people, after they weld it, they'll buy fiberglass blankets and wrap it really tight, kind of incubate it, so that the cooling process is very slow and the heat is maintained. That is another option. We didn't choose to use that option. Again, thank you for watching. We really appreciate it.